My name is Joe Andrews. I'm a political activist here on the conservative side here in Jacksonville, and I'm an active member in almost every conservative group in the area. I have served on an advisory commission within the city government, and I have recently participated in at least 7 current campaigns. My education is in business management and economics, and my career was in the construction industry. I have been retired for several years. My preferred methodology for problem solving is to approach any issue from a rationally consistent and well-informed manner, rather than an emotional and or parochial manner. That leads to better solutions, and it's what I was taught to do in school, and it's what we expect from our government. With that said, let's look at these proposed Florida constitutional amendments. First, let's generally define the state constitution as the organizational framework and the guidelines for operating the state government. First Amendment deals with water and land conservation. Aside from the falsehoods, vagueness, and inconsistencies in the text and the summaries on the ballot of the amendment, I find the effort to be a literal abdication of the authority and the trust that we place in our elected representatives to manage and faithfully use the scarce tax resources we place in their hands. This action removes from current use an amount of $650 million each year from a dedicated tax flow and puts it into the hands of a bureaucracy to spend on a loosely defined project, land conservation. If any of this spending is advisable, it can be easily handled by a single line item in the annually appropriated state budget and remain under the control of elected officials. This amendment is the love child of the Sierra Club and should be defeated. It is simply not the appropriate material for a constitutional amendment. Amendment 2 is medical marijuana. This is another emotionally fraught issue that has no business changing our constitutional framework. Marijuana is currently against the law. That's a statute. If this movement can demonstrate a medical use for marijuana, then amend the statute, not the Constitution. The bottom line is this is inappropriate material for a constitutional amendment also. Amendment 3 is dealing with judicial appointments. This subject matter may in fact be appropriate material for a constitutional amendment, since it deals with the organization and framework of running the state government. But is it a good idea? I think not, because it places a power in the hands of a single person that is too easily abused, and because there is already an authority in place to do the same thing, albeit by a different person. With regard to this subject, there is no gap in the operational framework, and there's no need to fix it. So I would vote against all 3 constitutional amendments on the ballot.